Orange Empire is celebrating. Does this make Clemson the favorite to win the ACC in 2013? And is Tajh Boyd now a preseason Heisman frontrunner? Mason Plumlee is a frontrunner for National Player of the Year. Duke's had its share. By the time he's done, where might he fit in amongst the Blue Devils' all-time greats? And we flash back to the late, great Jim Valvano. At NC State, he wasn't just a coach.
I'm not a pro at all. You can't get it done back. That's it. To the phones. But anyway, even though the engineer fouled up.
Even with his other job, he still had that larger-than-life personality. This is ACC Live Throwback. Welcome to ACC Live. This is week one of our new show. I'm Jeff Fischel. Today, Thursday, it's Throwback Day. We look at Jim Valvano having fun in his early days at NC State and look back at Clemson's football tradition now that Tajh Boyd has decided to stay for his senior year. We want to know, what is your Tajh Boyd Heisman campaign slogan for next season? Tweet us at the ACCDN. We're already getting some great responses. I will read some of them later in the show. If you've been watching ACC Live this first week, you've seen J.R. Reed, Coach K, that disturbing woman who sang about Johnny Football. I'm here every day at noon. Mondays, we break down all the games and important moments. Tuesday, our trending show, Kelly Nash and I, having some fun with the stories that are buzzing online. Every Wednesday, ACC Live Access, talking to the great coaches and players, past and present, in the conference. Throwback Thursdays today, how the headlines today fit into the long tradition of greatness in the ACC, and then on Fridays, tip-off, a look ahead to the big weekend games. The big story, it wasn't a game. Clemson quarterback Tajh Boyd announced he's not going to the NFL yet. The ACC Player of the Year will return for his senior year. Coach Dabo Swinney tells his guys, only go if you're in a first-round pick. NFL told him he'd probably be a third.
It was a big process going to it. I mean, I had pros and cons for each side, but for me, it came down to my enjoyment here. I love Clemson. I love college football. You know, I feel like I had a good enough grade to go out and have an opportunity to go out there and compete, but at the same time, I'm just not ready to just, drop this right now. And I feel like we got a lot of things that we have left on the table here at Clemson, and hopefully I'm here to see those things out.
Okay, we want your slogan, Tajh for Heisman. What's the campaign? Tweet us at the ACCDN. I will read later in the show some of the great ones. Tajh Boyd isn't the first ACC Player of the Year to face the tough decision of whether to leave early. Some players added to their legend by coming back, including another former Clemson quarterback, Steve Fuller. He repeated it at his ACC Player of the Year in 1978, was later the Gator Bowl MVP. Fuller won a Super Bowl as the Bears' backup QB in Super Bowl 20. As a sophomore in 2008, Jonathan Dwyer was the ACC MVP, rushing for nearly 1,400 yards. And the next year, he came back and was again first-team All-ACC. C.J. Spiller, though, beat him out for Player of the Year that year. In Matt Schaub's junior season of 2002, he became just the second Cavalier to be named Offensive Player of the Year and Overall Player of the Year. Schaub returned for his senior year and again threw for nearly 3,000 yards. But the ACC MVP that season, the Player of the Year, it was Phillip Rivers. He beat him out for first-team All-ACC quarterback. Charlie Ward was ACC Player of the Year in 1992. He repeated the feat in his senior year, 1993. In fact, he led the Seminoles to a national title. And, of course, Ward won the Heisman Trophy as well. It certainly paid off for Charlie Ward. Speaking of the Heisman, let's get to those Heisman campaign tweets. Your ideas for a Tajh Boyd Heisman campaign. A little Bob Marley reference to start off. Iron Lion says, roll Tajh. Uh-oh. Trying to steal the slogan away from Alabama after winning a national title. Roll Tajh. How about Ryan Cantor? Wrote us at the ACCDN. He said, include Boyd in the induct Boyd into the Taj Mahal of greatness. All right, I'm going with that, the Taj Mahal. I dig it. And Clemson Tom, one of the biggest Tigers fans you'll ever meet, he says you can't spell Heisman without 10. Look at it, he replaced the I with a 1 and the A with a 0. Tajh Boyd for Heisman. Clemson Tom, by the way, very active on Twitter, had perhaps the best tweet of the day yesterday. Quote, someone told me it's Kate Middleton's birthday. I slammed a PBR and said, who cares? Tajh Boyd is coming back. Hashtag America. There is one huge Clemson Tiger fan. Keep tweeting us with your Tajh for Heisman campaign ideas. Love them at the ACCDN or tweet me directly at Jeff Fischel. From the ACC's Football Player of the Year to the guy who right now would be the conference's Basketball Player of the Year, Mason Plumlee. He's helped Duke start the season 15-0. Here's Mason Plumlee by the numbers. The first number, 2. Mason Plumlee, second in the nation with 9 double-doubles this season. He leads Duke in scoring and rebounding and is just one of 4 players in major conferences to be averaging a double-double. Our next number, 6. The big man from Warsaw, Indiana, is 6th in the country with 11.4 boards a game. That's also number 1 in the Atlantic Coast Conference. From 6, we go to the number 12. Plumlee isn't just scoring a lot, nearly 18 a game. He's scoring efficiently, 12th in the nation in field goal percentage, an incredible 61.6%. It helps that he knows how to draw contact and get to the foul line, where he has been very efficient, converting much better this year. That's Mason Plumlee by the numbers. And if you and if I know, hey, this is a big, and this is, look at Mason Plumlee right there. Fantastic numbers this year. If, and I know this is a big if at this point because there's still a lot of basketball to play. If Mason Plumlee is the National Player of the Year, he would become the 10th Duke player all time to be the National Player of the Year. Hey, let's do a roll call of the best players in Duke history. In 1963, Art Hyman earned National Player of the Year honors after averaging 25 points a game, and he set a career scoring record. Hyman was a 3-time All-ACC performer. Remember, that was back in the day when freshmen couldn't play on the varsity team. That was the only thing that stopped him from being All-Conference all 4 years. Hyman, fantastic. A generation later, in 1989, Danny Ferry was National Player of the Year. He played in 3 Final Fours, and he holds Duke's single-game scoring record, 58 points. Ferry was the first ACC player to score 2,000 points, grab 1,000 rebounds, and dish out 500 assists in a career. In 1992, Christian Laettner led the Blue Devils to their 2nd straight national title. His Duke teams made Final Fours all 4 years he was in Durham. Laettner is the all-time school leader in three-point shooting percentage. I bet you didn't know that since you always worked inside. Jason Williams led Duke to the national title in 2001 and in the process set a new Duke single-season scoring record, passing another Blue Devil Player of the Year, Dick Groat. So here's the full list of Duke Players of the Year. Dick Groat, best known for being a baseball player, the 1960 National League MVP. Great 2-sport star Johnny Dawkins, the first great player of the Coach K era. That started an incredible run. There you see Ferry, Laettner, Elton Brand, Shane Battier, Williams, and J.J. Redick. So the question is, will Mason Plumlee add his name to the list? If he hasn't been the best player of the year so far, it might be another guy who's coming to the ACC, or at least his team is. Louisville. Russ Smith has been great this year, and of course, Louisville's coming to the Atlantic Coast Conference in 2014. You can't be a player of the year, though, without getting help from your teammates, right? Plumlee's teammate Ryan Kelly, we have an update on his injury. Here's what's happening in the ACC now. The power forward with the soft touch is out indefinitely with a right foot injury. He's hoping it's just a couple of weeks, but that may not be enough time. Kelly quietly has been having a fantastic season. In his last 9 games, he was averaging 14.5 points and an incredible 68% from three-point range. Hoops last night, BC beat Virginia Tech 86-75 in Blacksburg. Another season-opening non-conference win for the Eagles. NC State beat Georgia Tech 83-70, and you see other wins there by Wake Forest as well. Some football news and notes. Georgia Tech has hired a new defensive coordinator. It's Ted Roof coming in for Paul Johnson. Roof is a Georgia Tech grad and has coached, well, it feels like everywhere. Last season, he was the DC at Penn State. Al Groh was fired as the Yellow Jackets DC midway through the season. A big women's hoop matchup tonight here on the ACC-DN. North Carolina and North Carolina State. The Tar Heels are 15-1 and ranked 11th in the country. NC State comes in 8-7. The game streams live starting at 7. Watch all the action right here on the ACC Digital Network. The preseason men's tennis rankings are out. Virginia is number 1. In fact, 3 ACC teams are in the Intercollegiate Tennis Association's top 20. Duke is number 5. North Carolina is 18th. And that's the ACC now. Now here's what's on tap for ACC Live, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. There you see Friday. Tomorrow, Mike Jaminski, the former Duke and NBA great, comes in to preview all the weekend's games, including that battle between Duke and North Carolina State. How will the Blue Devils handle it without Ryan Kelly in the lineup? And then on Monday, we look at what happened over the weekend with J.R. Reed. ACC Live Breakdown, breaking down the weekend's action. There's one game right now on the Thursday menu brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. It's Miami and North Carolina. The Canes started strong in the conference, and they are looking good 1-0 here in the ACC. Taking on North Carolina, that is tonight in the ACC. We'll come back with more on that coming up next. Coming up, Jim Valvano didn't hold back on the court, and he didn't hold back doing his other job.
Well, I'll tell you something. I just watched the films, and I agree with you 100%.
You can't keep greatness in a box, so we won't. The ACC mobile app, presented by Outback Steakhouse. Imagine seeing this on this. That's greatness. For the ACC schools you live for, it's the app you can't live without. Available on your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Nokia Lumia Windows phone. The ACC mobile app. Live games, video, scores, stats, news, and greatness. Search ACC Sports on your mobile device.
Out with the old and in with the delicious. Commit to bold taste with the new Flavor Resolutions menu at Ruby Tuesday. 10 entrees starting at $9.99. Try our savory barbecue brushed ribs and bacon wrapped shrimp. Or take it up a notch by adding coconut-crusted shrimp to our mango salsa-topped Caribbean chicken. Plus, enjoy our endless garden bar, free with any chef-inspired entree. Ruby Tuesday. It's all good here. Start the new year with savings. Visit rubytuesday.com today for a $5 coupon.
The ACC Digital Network, the ultimate video destination for ACC fans. Exclusive highlights, live streaming games, and original live programming, unique access to the student athletes of our time and the legendary voices of all time. Defining moments, personal stories, incredible analysis from authentic ACC sources, cutting-edge content from the leaders in the digital space. The ACC Digital Network, brought to you by Ruby Tuesday.
Good afternoon, Chase Sapphire. This is Stacy from Springfield.
Oh,
Hello?
yes, I didn't realize I'd be talking to an actual person.
You don't need to press 0. I'm here.
Reach a person, not a prompt, whenever you call Chase Sapphire.
Here's the Thursday menu brought to you by Ruby Tuesday. One game tonight, Miami and North Carolina. The Canes started strong in conference play, even without Reggie Johnson, beating Georgia Tech 62-49. Meanwhile, it's been a rough few days since Carolina lost to Virginia. Roy Williams skipped practice Monday and made the team watch film for 3 hours. Players called a players-only meeting. Carolina needs to get Reggie Bullock the ball more and give him some help. He scored 22 against the Cavs on just 9 shots. Bullock averaging 14.6 rebounds and 3 assists a game. That is your Thursday menu. This is ACC Live, the Throwback Thursday edition. I'm Jeff Fischel. We're here every weekday at noon on the ACC Digital Network channel on YouTube. On Throwback Thursdays, we hop on board the Wayback Machine. So let's catch a ride and look at this week in ACC history. January 9th, 2005, Miami's Guillermo Diaz. He didn't score a point in the first 11 minutes, then poured in 24 the rest of the way to help the Canes upset NC State 67-66. It was Miami's first home game as a member of the ACC. January 13th, 1996, Tim Duncan, 14 points, 15 boards, and 10 blocks in a 77-64 win over Maryland. It's the only triple-double in Wake Forest history. Then going way back, January 13th, 1974. There used to be one big national game right before the Super Bowl. In 74, it was NC State and Maryland. David Thompson, 41 points. NC State won. You know, Thompson did the same thing the year before in the first national Super Bowl Sunday college basketball game, scoring 37, including a buzzer beater to win it. David Thompson, one of the all-time ACC greats. 9 years after he led NC State to that 74 title, the Wolfpack did it again with Jim Valvano in charge. Just down the hall here, we have rows and rows, right over there in fact, rows and rows of tapes going way back. We have them of Thompson, Valvano, and every ACC great ever. It's an ACC fan's dream come true, and every Thursday we dig through those shelves and shelves of tapes to give you the best. Today, we found this great piece on Valvano. Even during that 83 title season, he was working a second job, and he loved it. Here's this week's Hidden Gem.
Welcome to the show this Monday night. I know that you'd like to know the top 20 in college basketball, AP.
Once a week, he hosts a radio call-in show about sports.
I enjoy talking to people. I always have. I'm sure I always will. I wanted on the air to try and have that same, just that you'd want to give me a call. You know, say, hey, I think I'll call Jim up. Hey, Jim, you know, what's happening? Hello, you're on the air?
Jim, how you doing?
Very good, how are you?
Pretty good. I don't know about you, but I think Notre Dame is about the most boring team I've seen this year.
Well, I'll tell you something. I just watched the films, and I agree with you 100%.
During the season, talk is usually about basketball, but off-season he must read a lot to be prepared, and through it all, he just tries to be himself.
Well, what I've tried to do is not be professional. And everyone tells me I've done that. I've been successful there. I'm not a pro at all. You can't get it done back. That's it. To the phones. But anyway, even though the engineer fouled up.
So that's the kind of stuff we dig up for you every week here on Throwback Thursdays. Great stuff about Jim Valvano. Plus, we're working on a series, the greatest dunks and greatest finishes in ACC basketball history, so look for those coming up. Back to football now. We asked you to vote on Twitter. Is Clemson the favorite to win the ACC in 2013? Now that Tajh Boyd has announced he's coming back. Tweet yes or no to the ACC. Results are coming up. Maybe the Tigers can do what they did in 1981, right? Win a national title. The Denny Ford team went 12-0, including a win over Nebraska in the Orange Bowl. Linebacker Jeff Davis was the team's MVP. That defense also included a young nose tackle, William the Refrigerator Perry. The offense was led by quarterback Homer Jordan, who was first-team All-ACC. So let's get to the poll results. With Tajh Boyd staying, is Clemson now the favorite to win the ACC in 2013? And the answer is yes. 78% say, yeah, Clemson's going to win. A lot of these people tweeting to us with the answer yes. Big Tigers fans very excited to see Tajh Boyd back. 22% say no. Big question now, DeAndre, well, we have wide receivers to throw to with Sammy Watkins and Nuke Hopkins. We'll see if Nuke Hopkins decides to stay or turn pro. All right, well, we're also getting some tweets about this as well. The sports editor for the Florida State School newspaper, Brendan Burrs, talked to him before, says the Tigers are definitely now the favorites over his Noles. Quote, bunch of offensive talent coming back, plus too much turnover at FSU. Noles still don't know who QB will be to replace E.J. Manuel. Fast Mike 99 says Clemson still has something to prove. Quote, please beat more than one ranked opponent in 2013. Of course, that one win, the big one, over LSU in the Chick-fil-A Bowl. We've got a great show coming up tomorrow on ACC Live. It's Friday tip-off. But remember, tonight here on ACC Digital Network, it's North Carolina and North Carolina State women's hoops tip-off at 7 o'clock. All the action streaming live right here on the ACC Digital Network. Thanks for watching. Remember, tweet us all your reactions to the shows here at the ACC DN, and I'm at Jeff Fischel. See you tomorrow at noon.